The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus said to his disciples, "The kingdom of heaven is like a net thrown into the sea, which collects fish of every kind. When it is full, they haul it ashore and sit down to put what is good into buckets. What is bad, they throw away. Thus it will be at the end of the age. The angels will go out and separate the wicked from the righteous and throw them into the fiery furnace, where there will be wailing and grinding of teeth. Do you understand all these things?" They answered, "Yes." He replied, "Then every scribe who has been instructed in the kingdom of heaven is like the head of a household who brings from his storeroom both new and the old." When Jesus finished these parables, he went away from there. The Gospel of the Lord. Years ago, I was fighting tennis elbow, golf elbow, and so I get this putty stuff. You're supposed to still have it, and you're supposed to squeeze it. Of course, that's supposed to be healing. But, you can just like Play-Doh, you can squeeze it and squish it and string it and make it into whatever you want. The little kid's part of the creative process. And as I said the other day, prophets would do these unusual things as demonstrations of a message. And so Jeremiah goes down to the potter shop, and there this guy's working on clay and spinning it and fashioning, and maybe he's making a chalice or drinking cup, or maybe he's making an oil lamp. And if it doesn't turn out quite right, it's real easy because the clay is soft, just to squish it all up again and start all over again. And Jeremiah says, "And this is God with you folks. People of Israel were supposed to be living the life that God had promised them if they lived the commandments. And they weren't doing it. Just the opposite. They were worshiping pagan gods and doing human sacrifices and all kinds of terrible things. And so Jeremiah says, God's going to do this to you. He's going to squash you and start refashioning you. Sometimes that happens in our lives. Things happen to us and we say, God, why are you doing that? This doesn't seem quite right. It's too harsh, it's too difficult, it's too painful, whatever. And maybe God's trying to do to us what Jeremiah was talking about. Maybe God is squashing us up, humbling us, bringing us down to recognize that we have total dependence upon God and God alone. And if we just open ourselves up to God, lo and behold, who knows what will be refashioned in our lives. You see, we're always being fashioned by God. The process of growing in holiness doesn't end until about 10 minutes after we're dead.